Confused about the cosmos? Can't tell a planet from a star? Then give us just 5 minutes and we'll show you what they are. Jack Horkheimer, stargazer, tells you all about the night sky and the biggest show of all, the universe. And now, this week's episode.
The False Dawn of Omar Khayyam. Hey there, stargazers. I'm Dean Regas, outreach astronomer from the Cincinnati Observatory, and I'll be your guide to the sky this month on Stargazer. Almost 1,000 years ago, the Persian poet Omar Khayyam, in his book of poetry, the Rubaiyat, wrote his most famous line, "A jug of wine, a loaf of bread, and thou beside me, singing in the wilderness." But elsewhere in the Rubaiyat, Omar made a poetic allusion to a mysterious false dawn, as opposed to the real dawn, which can only be seen at a certain time of year. And happily, next week is your best chance this year to see it, because there will be no bright moonlight to wipe out this delicate astronomical phenomenon. Let me tell you all about it and what you have to do to find it. Okay, if we could go way out into space and look down on our solar system with superhuman vision, we would notice a faint, almost imperceptible vast cloud extending outward from the Sun in the plane of the orbits of Mercury, Venus, Earth, and slightly beyond, an enormous cloud of cosmic dust. And while one would expect it would be impossible to see this super faint cloud from Earth, nevertheless, in the fall, when the plane of our Earth's orbit is almost vertical to the horizon, we can, under the right conditions. And those conditions require that there is no bright moonlight out and that you must be far away from city lights, because even the faintest moonlight or urban lighting will wipe out the extremely delicate ethereal glow of the false dawn. As a general rule, if you can see the Milky Way from where you're observing, you have a good chance to see this rare phenomenon next week. To see it, look toward the east about 2 hours before sunrise, before the real dawn. It will look like a wedge or cone-shaped dim patch of light about the same brightness as the Milky Way, and it will extend from the horizon about 1/3 to halfway up to the zenith, a ghostly, faintly glowing, rounded pyramid of light. Now, the scientific name of this phenomenon is the zodiacal light, and it's caused by sunlight scattered from all those trillions and trillions of dust particles which make up the great cosmic cloud. And although Omar didn't mention it, this false dawn also has an evening counterpart, the false dusk, the evening zodiacal light, which looks pretty much the same, except that it's visible 2 hours after sunset in the west, in spring, when the plane of our Earth's orbit is almost vertical to the horizon. Additionally, if you ever see a similar oval-shaped glow directly overhead at midnight, you'd be seeing the zodiacal light's sister phenomenon called the Gegenschein, or counterglow. And I personally wonder whether any poet ever wrote about that. And for those of you who don't like getting up before dawn, we have scheduled a bright planet for you to see in the early evening. Giant Jupiter is now rising in the east, not long after dark. Jupiter is almost at its closest for the year and is almost as bright as it gets. Jupiter's brightness varies as its distance from us changes. The closer, the brighter. It will be closest at opposition, that is, opposite the sun in the sky on October 28th. And before any of you write in that the internet says October 29th is the date of opposition, the time of opposition is 2 hours universal time, which means it's still October 28th for us here in the US. At any rate, remember, next week is your best chance this year to see the false dawn of Omar Khayyam, the morning zodiacal light, which I admit is very elusive. But once you've found it, I think you'll know why it appeared in poetry centuries before it appeared in scientific writings. So, get outside before dawn next week when there's no moon, and make sure you're far from city lights, and see if you can see what inspired an ancient poet. I think you'll find it inspiring too. Keep looking up. Hey there, stargazers. Be sure to check out the all-new Stargazers next month. Same time, same channel. For more info, go to stargazersonline.org.